enjoy the ACLU Virtual Liberty Awards.
So we're very excited that you're here. Thanks for being with us. Thanks too for all of our sponsors. You're going to see the names of the sponsors scrolled on the screen. I want to thank in particular John and Maggie Miller, Rhonda Harport, and Room and Board, who are the three naming sponsors for the three awards that we're going to be giving tonight. And we're very excited and pleased and grateful for those folks for their support of the ACLU of Minnesota. You know, we've been doing this at the ACLU for fully 100 years now nationally. In Minnesota, the ACLU of Minnesota has been in existence for about 70 years now and has played a similar role in connection with protecting the civil rights and civil liberties of everyone in the state of Minnesota. We are very, very proud of that history. With your help, we'll be able to continue that work. We'll be able to have more victories and successes even than we've had. Please pay attention to the text to give notices that you'll see on your screen from time to time, and know that we are working hard every day. Our staff is working hard every day to fulfill the promise of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights for people in Minnesota and nationally. And with your help, we can get it done.
Thank you, John. Hello, I'm Geraldine Steele, the host for tonight's event. The ACLU is the defender of our Constitution and Bill of Rights. These documents establish a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. As such, the stewardship of our nation is in the hands of its people. Everyone has the ability to make an impact in the fight for our nation, our rights, and the values for which we stand. Everyone. And the ACLU is here to defend the individuals who put their freedom in the line of defense and their values. With the Liberty Awards, these beautiful awards tonight. Just one moment. The Liberty Awards are a chance to recognize some of these individuals. This is a watershed moment in our history. Change is in the air, you guys, and we have a chance to seize this momentum. As we acknowledge the important work that has been done, we do so with an eye toward the future and a goal of empowering others to make a difference. The time is now. The ACLU of Minnesota Liberty Awards honors people in Minnesota who have dedicated their time and in some cases their careers to advance in civil liberties of the most marginalized people in our community, people who deserve the rights and dignity afforded to all of us by our Constitution and Bill of Rights. We are all called to participate in this work against violations of civil liberties. We can all together make a difference. Our winners tonight will show us how. Our first award we're presenting tonight is the Earl Larson Award, generously sponsored by John and Maggie Miller. In 1996, the ACLU of Minnesota created the Earl Larson Award to honor members of the legal community who have demonstrated a lifelong commitment to justice and civil liberties. The Earl Larson Award remains the premier recognition of a life spent in service to these principles. This year's Earl Larson Award winner is immigration attorney Kim Hunter. Over the course of her career, Kim has stopped the deportation of many Somali refugees, laid the groundwork for dozens to reopen the cases of even those citizenships and even the unlawful denial of citizenship. Her work challenging unlawful immigration detention led to four, I want to make sure you hear me, 4 court decisions, now followed by at least a dozen other district courts. Kim has been such a vocal advocate for children detained in deplorable conditions. Now these camps, immigration officials banned her. Yeah, they actually banned her. That's how the work of the ACLU works. We make sure that we do something that really makes a difference. Ian Bradley, ACLU staff attorney, speaks about Kim Hunter's work and impact. Let's take a watch.
What we need to do is start recognizing that the violations of immigrants' rights happens in the removal proceedings at the very bottom when it's started, when the NTAs are issued, when the immigration judges take the case. And Kim is there to stop those violations. She's there to fight for the clients. And as people who are concerned about immigrant rights, we have to be concerned about what's happening in our immigration courts. This is what Kim does. She fights for immigrants' rights, and she's been doing it for decades. She's wonderful. She's strong. She's constantly doing it. I don't know an immigration attorney who doesn't think the world of Kim, and she's just been utterly amazing, and just a wonderful, wonderful mentor to a lot of young attorneys as well.
Thank you, John and Maggie Miller, for your support of the ACLU and for sponsoring the Earl Larson Award. Now it's time to meet Kim Hunter.
I mean, my father was always talking about the underdog and defending the underdog, and there really is no greater underdog, particularly today, than immigrants. And so when I left law school, I was looking for something in that arena, and this is where I landed. In terms of civil liberties and immigration, I mean, the main issue I would argue currently are due process and equal protection, the foundational guarantees of the 5th and 14th Amendments. And so the law is clear. Immigrants in the United States, even immigrants at the border, have a right to due process. The unfortunate reality is we're cutting that short at every possible opportunity. And it's actually, I mean, it's genuinely appalling how curtailed due process has become at the border. It's pretty hard to want to put down the torch and rest, given just the overwhelming nature of xenophobia, discrimination, racial hostility in the United States, particularly at this point in time. Well, in terms of the ACLU recognition, I have to say, I want to obviously say thank you. It's a very pleasant surprise. And no, it's I often say I don't need to have myself like exalted, but I do like to have a degree of like recognition. And so I appreciate the fact that this decades of work has been recognized. It is validating. It's also just affirming to know that you're being seen, frankly, in the current climate. And so I'm grateful that the work is being acknowledged, and that it's a recognition that the challenges that we face are somewhat shared, because often it can feel very isolating.
Congratulations, Kim. We are grateful for the work you are doing to protect the civil liberties of the people who immigrate to our country seeking a better life. It's important work that you're doing, so please everyone remember to make your donation to support the ACLU of Minnesota's work to advance civil liberties for immigrants in our community. Now you can do this by texting 41444, 41444, and the word ACLU, your donation amount, and your name. Example, ACLU 250 Sean Hill. You can also donate online at ACLU-MN.org. Money raised tonight will support ACLU of Minnesota's work toward racial justice. Now, the Changemaker Award, sponsored by the generosity of Ron DeHarport, honors an individual or organization who has worked closely with the ACLU of Minnesota to protect civil liberties in Minnesota. Take a look.
You'll find that when people that are in positions of power tend to think of themselves as knowing what's right, and those who disagree with them, we don't care. And we happen to have a document, a constitution, that protects us the people, from that. And it's really important that the authorities understand that when they violate that Bill of Rights, there's an organization that will come out and tell them, no, you can't do that. Well, I'm really proud to be the sponsor of this year's Changemaker Award. It goes to the public defender of Nobles County, which is public defenders in general are people that I really admire, and that I think we should support whenever we can. And in Nobles County in particular, where there's been some grievous violations of civil liberties, they've done great work down there. We have a branch, the ACLU has a branch headquartered in Mankato. that works with the public defender's office and others down there. And it just really makes me feel good that this award can go there.
Thank you, Ron, for your support of the ACLU of Minnesota and for sponsoring this award. This year's winner is the Nobles County Public Defender's Office, the Ron D. Harport Changemaker Award, which honors an individual or organization who has worked closely with the ACLU Minnesota to protect civil liberties in Minnesota, will be awarded to the Nobles County Public Defenders. The NCPD office has assisted us in lawsuits against the Nobles County Sheriff and the Worthington Police Department. They have protected immigrant rights in Nobles County by keeping us aware of detention violations and alerting us to cases across southern Minnesota, despite facing significant blowback from their work. Now, meet Amanda Delaney, one of the Nobles County Public Defenders, who is accepting the award on behalf of the group. Take a look.
Well, first and foremost, I'm fighting for my clients, the people who actually had their right violated. But on a larger scale, I think that I'm fighting for society at large. A lot of times people don't understand that my clients are the gatekeepers to our constitutional rights. A lot of times I'm the only voice that these people have. A lot of my clients come from marginalized communities. It's easy to turn your back on them, to not listen to what they have to say, to not believe what they're saying. But when myself or another public defender stands up and says that the conduct that happened here was not right, people will take notice. That doesn't always mean that I win, but people at least pay attention to that. And they're forced to confront the realities that a lot of times, the things that we're saying or bringing to the attention of society at large, these are the realities for people in these marginalized communities. Really, to me, this award is just a recognition of all the work that not only myself, but my entire office has done. Really, the district, there's plenty of attorneys that I've worked with that are not in my office that also worked really hard to try and give our clients a sense of being heard and a sense of justice and the knowledge that they can't be treated like they're not people. So it's just a recognition for, that when we take on these harder issues that it doesn't go unrecognized.
Congratulations, Nobles County Public Defender's Office. And please remember to make your donation to support the ACLU of Minnesota's work to stop police brutality and disrupt the deportation pipeline in our community, and to support all of our work advancing racial justice. Now you can do this by texting 41444 41444 with the word ACLU, your donation amount, and your name. Example, ACLU, Mary Smith, 250. I think I got that a little wrong, but you know what I mean. Now our newest award is the Torchbearer Award, generously sponsored by Room and Board, honors an individual or group who acted bravely to protect and promote civil liberties in Minnesota in 2019. For the first time ever, we asked the general public to make nominations, and we received lots of them. Thank you, guys. In fact, we have 2 winners tonight, the family of Philando Castile and Amy Koopman. Room and Board, a Minnesota-based company, has long been a proponent of civil liberties and a supporter of the ACLU of Minnesota. Now meet Nancy Greatrix Manley with Room and Board, who will introduce the Torchbearer Award. Are you ready? Here it comes.
Yeah, I'm Nancy Greatrix Manley, and I lead the human resource function for Room and Board. I think, though, as I think of Room and Board and our core values, respect is at the foundation of everything that we do. And the way one cultivates respect is through building meaningful, collaborative relationships. And I think that we improve the world within our small world of Urban Board because we really aspire to encourage people to find value and purpose in their work. And that really spills out into the community in wonderful ways. And so I think that's really that sensibility around civil liberties. It's just treating people the way that you would hope to be treated. And we really foster that environment here at Room and Board. I do not feel a sense of hopelessness, even though we witness great despair. To me, hopelessness is defeat, and there is too much at stake to admit defeat or resign ourselves to defeat. And in fact, the Torchbearer Award itself, I think, is profound. If you think of the image of a torchbearer, it's one who carries this blazing light. It's not a flicker, it's not a spark, it's not a single beam, it is a torch. And the Torchbearer Awards are meant to celebrate and acknowledge and admire the courage of both Valerie Castile and her family and Amy Koopman, and they deserve every bit of recognition and admiration for their courage. However, I think the call to a Torchbearer Award is not that we admire them, it's more so that we follow them, and that we have an obligation to follow the torch that they've lit for us so we can see the path and find the hope in the midst of the despair. And I think that's what's magical about the Torchbearer Award. It calls us to follow them.
Well, the first Torchbearer Award goes to the family of Philando Castile. Philando Castile was killed by police during a traffic stop in 2016. You remember that? Philando's girlfriend live-streamed it on Facebook, leading to worldwide attention for this horrific shooting. And since her son's death, Valerie Castile has founded the Philando Castile Relief Foundation, which provides help to victims of police violence and pays down school lunch debt, because that's a tribute to Philando, a cafeteria supervisor who often bought lunch for needy children. Philando's sister, Eliza, his uncle Clarence, and his uncle Tracy are all on the board of directors for the foundation, and they are determined not to allow Philando's death to be forgotten or to be seen as another grim gun violence statistic. We have put materials on ACLU-MN.org, our website, that resulted from work that Ms. Castile, Philando's family, has engaged in. So please visit their website, visit our website, and honor her work, her important work through our website. Meet Valerie Castile, Clarence Castile, and Tracy Castile.
We're here at the Philando Castile Peace Garden, and it was created solely by the community in the aftermath of his murder. And we wanted to do something that he held near and dear to his heart, and he was a beloved individual who served our children daily at his job. And this foundation, it was formulated because we wanted a continuation of his legacy.
We've been placed in a position that we never thought we'd be, and we're doing work that we never even dreamed of doing.
I embrace this journey because it's something that God gave me. He gave me Philando. He trusted me to prepare him for this world, and I did everything humanly possible I could in teaching him and nurturing him and preparing him to be a productive citizen. So when he was murdered, you know, the easiest thing that I could have done was to sit back and not do anything. That would have been the easiest thing I could have done. in wake of what's been happening right now in today's society, the recent murder of George Floyd. His murder was actually the straw that broke the camel's back. And that's why people were frustrated and grieving so badly because of the things that happened here in the state of Minnesota. Since 1984, over approximately 400 people have been murdered by the hands of the police. And since 2016, unfortunately, when Philando was murdered, 87 more individuals lost their lives at the hands of the police. And I just want to show you guys all the work that I've been doing since 2016 in light of my son's death. We have several pamphlets of great recommendations that have been made on working groups and panels that they're somewhere collecting dust. And right now it's all about implementing all this great information. This is a wealth of information that can be utilized by the police, the BCA, the prosecuting attorney's office, and us as community. It's information for all of us in here so that we can coexist better than what we're doing, because it's unfortunately that our children are losing their lives at an alarming rate, and we have to come together. And the ACLU, you are the gatekeepers for our civil liberties, and I'm sure that you guys can put together something and try to encourage our legislators to change some of these policies they have in place. I want to thank you guys again for this wonderful, prestigious award, and I pray and I hope, I'm always hopeful, I'm always faithful that we can do better. We all can do better. So thank you very much.
And to the family of Philando Castile, thank you for your work. He will not be forgotten. In fact, let me tell you a little something I just learned. It's his birthday. It is Philando's birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. I can't sing Philando, so forgive me, but it's pretty good, right? Well, it's time for the second Torchbearer Award, and it goes to Amy Koopman for consciously using her power, her white privilege to film a police stop. And even though she ended up being charged with a crime herself, Amy saw police pull over in Robbinsdale, pull over 2 black men, and she live streamed the encounter. She also spoke out against police attempts to escalate the situation. Afterward, police charged Amy with obstruction, and the ACLU and our volunteer lawyer, Howard Bass, got the charges dismissed. Amy is working with the ACLU now to change policing practices. So I can't wait to meet Amy Koopman.
Civil liberties to me is something that I didn't think a lot about until I filmed police and they charged me with a crime for it. I don't know the ins and outs of the laws or how to argue them. And this is what the ACLU does. They protect our right to gather, to speak, to film, to worship. All of us have a fundamental right to speak, to be heard. And the ACLU protects everyone's right to do that. It's affirming to me personally because this stuff is terrifying. I have filmed police so many times, and every single time my voice shakes and my hands shake. But I do it anyway because I know that it matters, and I know that the people who are being harassed by police, who are being unjustly stopped, they feel protected, a little bit more protected when we film and when we step up. I don't know, it makes me want to keep going, and it makes me want to tell everybody else, do this work. It is worthy work. I imagine a world where white people are doing the work of anti-racism and dismantling white supremacy in ourselves so that we are able
to see our Black neighbors and our Indigenous neighbors and our refugee neighbors as human beings whose rights are being violated all the time. I want that to matter. I want it to matter to everybody.
Congratulations, Valerie Castile and family, and Amy Koopman. You both have deserved it. To all the torchbearers here and in the audience, together we mourn the death of George Floyd, who was murdered by a police officer in South Minneapolis. We also mourn Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Philando Castile, and Breonna Taylor, and countless others whose lives were taken by the police. We say their names when we work for justice. We remember their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, and children who find a way to live with the grief they carry. Our promise to you: the ACLU will continue to use its power, clout, and privilege to work for a just and peaceful country. The ACLU dares to create a more perfect union beyond one person, one party, or one side. Our mission is to realize this promise of the United States Constitution for all and expand the reach of its guarantees. So please visit the website at ACLU-MN.org to find ways to engage in this work. We, alongside our community partners and you, will continue work together to build a safe and just place for ourselves, our brothers, our sisters, and our children. While we honor our award winners today, we are all called to be torchbearers, including me, to engage in this work of redesigning a safer and healthier community. We are ordinary people, but as all of our winners have demonstrated, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now we see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead us on. Thank you all for sticking and staying with the ACLU of tonight. These awards for honoring Kim Hunter and the Nobles County Public Defender's Office and Valerie Castile and family and Amy Koopman. Just beautiful. Please remember to make a donation if you've forgotten. Remember to support the ACLU of Minnesota. Now you can do this by texting 41444 and the word ACLU, your donation amount, and your name. Example, ACLU 250 Geraldine Steele. Now, if you haven't had a chance to donate today and you want to go to the website, you can do that too. Just go to ACLU-MN.org. ACLU of Minnesota's Board of Directors, we thank you. The Liberty Awards Planning Committee, we thank you. The ACLU donors, you and staff, and you and you. Now let's be heroes that we need to be right now. And please, the recording of this event will be available online in the next day or so. So please, Share it with everyone, with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Let them know what the ACLU is doing for all of us, for all of us. And with that, good night.
Thanks for attending the ACLU Virtual Liberty Awards. I'm going to finish with a tune called We Shall Overcome as a jazz standard.